I've often wondered why whenever I watch a review for a new game, people never tend to talk about the music, like it's second to the game being played or sometimes non-existent. To me, music in games is one of the main pillars of what makes video games so great. Music has been around since the dawn of humankind, and it's everywhere, in movies, in TV shows, in advertisements, and of course, it's just there to listen to. Our lives are surrounded by music, but video games are a special case. Video game music needs to react to what the player is doing, sometimes switching between tracks in the middle of a song because a fight has stopped or the player failed or died. Some games have even embraced music as their core game mechanic. Games like Beat Saber and Sayonara Wild Hearts use the music as a way of interacting with the player. You're not controlling the beat of the music, but you're making sure that the song keeps going in these games, because one false move can mean restarting the song from the beginning. When you finally do beat that song that you've been trying to beat for ages, it feels incredible that you managed to achieve it at all. These games with their fast-paced music are meant to keep you on your toes and concentrating as much as possible. The same goes for games like Doom and Doom Eternal. The entire soundtrack is a blast of heavy metal that makes the combat feel less like a generic gunfight and more like a dance. But you're also the conductor telling the orchestra when to go all out and when to stop when there are no demons left to kill. Everyone that has ever played an open world RPG or survival game will also know what I'm referring to when I say combat music. It's the music that is initiated as soon as an enemy is about to attack you. It's a subtle cue to tell the player there's something or someone has seen you and is about to attack or is ready to attack, and will go away if you defeat the enemies or run away. I've been playing a lot of Ghost of Tsushima lately, and the game does exactly this. Take a listen. A lot of the time, music can be used to signify climactic moments. Most games have these, but the special one that comes to mind is Journey. Spoilers ahead for Journey, even though it's an 8-year-old game at this point. Journey has you going on a journey to a faraway mountain. But you end up doing the entire trip with a random player. You don't know their name, who they are, what their likes and dislikes are, or anything, and you probably won't ever know. You can only communicate with each other using sound. Depending on how hard you press down or as fast as you press the button makes different noises. During your adventure, you end up having a connection with this other player. During the ups and downs, you make your way through this world together. It's truly a special experience, but the whole way through is the incredible soundtrack done by composer Austin Wintory. Without his incredible music, Journey wouldn't nearly be the incredible game it is. There's a moment at the very end of the game that stands out the most to me though. You and your companion are making your way up the mountain slowly through a blizzard. The music slowly fades away till there's nothing but the whistling of the wind and the footsteps scrunching on the snow on each step you take. Your companion falls, and you do as well soon after. It seems like the end, but you're saved, and you come out into this brilliant shining light, and you make your way up the final slope of the mountain, and the music swells around with a flurry of sound as you and your companion glide and dance upward with the wind, rising higher and higher as the music grows louder and more brilliant. It's a symphony of sound and blinding light. All the instruments are on full blast, so just when you reach its peak, it mellows itself out. It's an incredible experience that will stay with me for the rest of my life. That experience couldn't have been possible without Austin's music. It's the perfect pair of gameplay and sound, and elevates an already incredible experience. But there's one game that has the most perfect main theme and original track I've ever heard in any video game ever, in fact in any piece of media ever, and that is The Outer Wilds. I've talked about The Outer Wilds on this channel before, but I never really touched on the music. The score for The Outer Wilds was composed by Andrew Pralo, and the theme is perfect in every way. It's actually what you're listening to right now. In the game, there are other astronauts on different planets around the solar system. The only way to find them is by using your signal scope, in which each one of them is playing a different instrument. But it wasn't until I had flown far away from the solar system, was drifting in the endless black, with the sun nothing more than a dot on my horizon, that I realised if you aim your signal scope back at your solar system, all the astronauts' instruments line up perfectly. They're all playing the same song. All of them are planets apart, drifting through space, but through music they are together. It's the song of the universe, but it's not as grand or as big as that. It's just a campfire with a group of explorers playing music that reminds them of home. And that is beautifully profound. In fact, the song in the background you're hearing right now is a song called Reprise. This song wasn't even in the game when it was released. Andrew released it only 2 months ago, an entire year after launch, but it encapsulates the entire Outer Wilds experience in one song. It brings back memories of playing the game for the very first time, from roasting my first marshmallow on Timber Hearth to propelling myself headfirst into the sun, or the feeling of triumph I had as I finally landed on that damn satellite after 20 failed attempts. After the first few notes of the song, I immediately get these memories. Now, some of you are probably thinking, well, duh, Sean, that's Music Theory 101. Music can draw old memories back to you like a taste and smell can. But I don't think video game music gets enough recognition. When we watch a hit blockbuster film and we hear that Avengers theme when someone does something heroic, or something happens in Star Wars and that iconic John Williams score swells up and you're hit with this overwhelming nostalgia, the same goes for game music. Now that might be just because film has been around longer than video games have. To some people, video games are still something that kids play, not a medium that everyone can enjoy. It's still in its infancy, and so video game soundtracks by that reasoning aren't taken as seriously by those outside the industry. But some game soundtracks are more memorable than most modern film scores, and that might be because you spend more time with a video game than you would a film. But that doesn't matter. I feel that game music isn't held as highly as publishers or developers or game directors are, but it should be. It's one of the fundamental pillars of a video game, so you should do what I did. Make a playlist on YouTube or Spotify, or even better, SoundCloud, because at least you can support the musician directly, and fill it with all your favourite game soundtracks or songs from some of your favourite games, and just sit down and listen to them. I know for a fact that when you finish, you'll have a deeper appreciation for the game music than you did before, because video game music is important, and it should be celebrated. Thanks for watching.